Welcome to week 5. We got some things to look at. Some of the same stuff we've been looking at. We got more targeting, more defenseless player. And so let's jump right into it. Alright, so if you recall last year in the finals, we put out a video. And I'll put a link to it in the description and then a little info box at the top on a quick change on a punt. I believe Calhoun did it in the 3A final. We did a short little video on that on why it was legal. If you juxtapose that to a couple of years ago, I believe it was Valdosta maybe, in the 6A final, did a quick punt change that was illegal. But we try to detail exactly what makes it legal, what makes it illegal. So here we're going to have one done by a team. And so the key thing to look at right now is set. None of the linemen have their hands on the ground. The receivers on the line, they appear to be set as well. You know, is one thing you want to look at, is any of this a quick movement that would indicate the snap is being done? No. But we're going to flag this, and the signal we give is a legal substitution. However, that's not backed up by rule. There's no substitution foul committed. You know, obviously there's no huddle. So we can't have breaking the huddle with 12 men. So this in and of itself is legal. You know, they can do this as long as they get it done within 25 seconds of the play clock. My one word of advice would be, if they're going to do this, make it a tight 25 seconds. So nothing in and of itself right now is illegal. Again, you know, the linemen, none of them have their hands on the ground. The movement by the receivers is not, you know, anything to indicate there's a snap. So that would be legal. Here's another team that did it. Just the same thing, as you can see. None of the linemen have their hand on the ground. The movement by the receivers is not like jerky or quick, anything to indicate that there's a snap. They run it on, run it off. Again, as long as they can do this all within 25-second play clock, then we're good. So this team, they kind of hurt themselves because they couldn't get set, and that's the risk they run when they try to run 11 guys on the field real quick. You know, they're going to run the risk themselves of false start like that, or not having a guy set. You know, and I would advise you, you know, be tight on it if they're going to do it. Be tight on that. So nothing there in and of itself is illegal, well, except for that false start there at the end. All right, this was the weekly televised game on GPTV. If you watched it, we are going to have a pretty big hit that we correctly called targeting. I guess we see that view of it. This is a better view anyway. Pretty vicious hit. And if we slow down, you can see he lowers his head. He's coming in with a crown. Right now he is using that helmet as a weapon, and he makes clear contact on the side of the head. Helmet goes flying off. Not much of intent to wrap up. I mean, he's going for a kill shot there. So this is a good call on the targeting. Now, I will say this probably should have been an ejection, and I have a high threshold for ejections, but this one would definitely crossed it, because he's making no effort here other than just trying to punish this kid. Now, once we see their end zone angle again, you can see pretty vicious. And that's right in the ear hole. So another thing other than the targeting, and I would say I don't fault this crew for not ejecting. This is done with a crew of 6. I think if you have a back judge here, I think he sees that. I think he sees the viciousness of the hit better. I think he sees better that this is just an intent to punish. So I think you have a back judge. I think he flags it, and I think he issues the ejection or says you should have an ejection. Field judge, side judge, they can see the targeting and see that it's targeting, but it'd be hard for them to really see that it should be an ejection. So, and that's one where 7-man would help you. Now, one thing I will say about this kid gets hit, helmet comes flying off. He goes off the sideline on his own because he's getting congratulated. If I'm an official here, I'm telling the coach, this kid needs to get checked out. He needs to be evaluated by a concussion. These guys hit him on the helmet and the head. That certainly doesn't help if he does have a concussion. But this kid needs to get evaluated ASAP. And he does need to be let back on the field until he is evaluated by a certified athletic trainer who can do it, or if there's a doctor on the sideline. Someone needs to check this kid and evaluate him and clear him before he can come back on the field. And that is listed in the procedures. I think in NFHS and maybe even GHSA. But we do have procedures in place. If you think a kid is concussed, you have the power to send them off to be evaluated, and you have the power to keep sending him off until he's cleared. So let's make sure when something like this happens, let's make sure this player is evaluated. All right, this one's from a middle school game. But I want to show it because this one they flagged and they ejected. And we can stand by this. One of the concerns here was that, you got the runner going down at the same time, so it's hard for the defender to adjust. But this is crown to crown. That defender is responsible for his actions. He needs to be responsible for what he does. If he doesn't lower his head, then this doesn't happen anyway. So I think we were right to eject. Definitely right to flag it. These they need to learn to play with their heads up, because we cannot, we cannot keep having these targetings, or we're gonna have to come up with something else. But we got to cut down the targeting. These players got to start coming in with their heads up. All right, let's look at a few more defenseless players. Now remember, the act of hitting a defenseless player in and of itself is not illegal. You need to come up with a reason why the hit is illegal, other than it was on defenseless player. Is it spearing? Is it unnecessary? What is it? So this player did get hurt. He kind of gets scissored. He's up in the air. I don't see anything wrong with the hit in and of itself. Is he defenseless? Yes. Is he slow getting up here? Yeah, but he kind of takes a double whammy hit here. But none of this is egregious. None of it, I think, is unnecessary. There's no targeting, no illegal helmet contact. It's just, receiver in the middle, go in the air. He's putting himself at risk. Here's one we did flag that I think we should have let off on. Again, he's defenseless, yes. But is there anything with this hit other than the player's defenseless that makes it illegal? No. This is a good form tackle. His head is up. He hits in the torso. Wrap, drive. I mean, that's the form tackling we were all taught in high school. So it's just a good tackle. Nothing wrong with that. Remember, if we're going to flag for hitting a defenseless player, there's got to be something illegal about the hit. It can't just be you hit a defenseless player. Defenseless player is just a category we can use for something else. This one was properly flagged. As you can see, what makes this hit illegal is the timing of it is very late. You can see that the player, he's already landed, even kind of took a stutter step or two. This guy, the defender, had a chance to let up. He did not. So this is a good flag for a defenseless player, hitting a defenseless player. Because it's late. It's a late hit. It's unnecessary. He had already landed. He'd been on the ground for a while. There's opportunity to let up. You know, you go back and look at the previous play. I mean, there's no opportunity to let up on those defenders. For those defenders. So this is a good flag for a late hit. Here's one's a good job of holding off on flagging it. I don't think there's anything wrong with this one. Again, you just got a receiver coming over the middle. Good form tackle. He just popped him right as the ball got there. And, no, there's no illegal helmet contact. There's no contact above the shoulder. Just a good form tackle. Alright, moving on. So we're gonna have a intentional grounding here, and we're gonna do a bad job of getting the spot. We do a good job of calling it. I did not load the previous play, but we were off about 4 yards on this spot. Now, you know, remember our mechanics. You know, if you're the referee, you're trailing. You know, obviously you got a lot to focus on. You know, you got to protect this passer, but we need to make mental notes of where the ball is thrown from, because we miss this spot. You know, and spots are important. We all know that. So it's just one of those things. We just make a mental note when you're running white hat of where the spot is, so that when we go back and get the intentional grounding, we can do a good job of getting that spot. Alright, we have another punch shield play. We had these a couple weeks ago. We showed them. So this one, we initially flagged it, but then the crew did a good job of getting together, and they decided against the flag, which is the right call. There's no flag here. When that defender goes up in the air, he's putting himself at risk. We do not have a foul in Federation for leaping over the punch shield. So they are just, they're kind of, when they go in the air, try to jump over this punch shield, they're putting themselves at risk. So that's legal. There's nothing illegal about that. Again, like I said, the crew did a good job coming together and waving off this flag. See, you guys do watch the videos. Do a good job here of popping this taunting. Anytime a player stands over another player and says something like this, flexes or whatever, like especially when like this, when they're leaning over and directing it right at the player on the ground, we need to pop this for unsportsmanlike conduct. It can lead to a lot of things other than being unsportsmanlike. It can lead to a lot of things. I mean, what's to stop this player from getting up and just punching him, you know, or what's to stop? So this is the team's quarterback. What's to stop, you know, when these linemen for protecting this quarterback come over and shoving this player? So the good job, the quick flag here. Anytime they stand over and taunt or say anything or flex or whatever, standing over a player, step over them, we need to flag it, because it can lead to bad things. This is a good call here for a completed pass. A lot of people will see the ball hit the ground and automatically think you have an incomplete pass. No, we want to look at control. He's got control of this ball all the way to the ground. He maintains control of that ball all the way to the ground. Looks like even there at the end he kind of puts his hand under it. So it's hard to tell if the ball even hit the ground really. But either way, he controls this. He's got firm grasp on it. He's controlling it. You can see the ball is not moving. Even when it hits the ground, there's not a whole lot of ball movement. So he's got a good firm control of this. Wing does a great job coming in there and calling a complete pass. Good focus, good concentration. Good job there. Here we do a good job again by this crew of coming in here and kind of controlling some tempers. We see we got a couple little extracurricular stuff going on here. You got this guy coming in. You know, was it late? Yeah, it's close too. I mean, you also got to understand these players. They're taught to play to the whistle, and I know a whistle does not end the down. But you know, if it's close like that, you know, we're kind of slow to blow the whistle. We want to give them a little bit of leeway, unless it's just something egregious and unnecessary. So I'm okay here with not throwing a late hit on that. Then we have a little skirmish over here. You know, just some prolonged activity after the play. But like I said, officials do a good job coming in here, keeping the peace. This is a good place to use your voice. Let them know you're there. But good job here by the crew of kind of keeping the peace. Alright, so here we're going to have holding. Holding is going to be the call. And I think we can get away with a DPI here. I mean, I say get away with. I think by rule we have DPI. Because it looks like the contact does not happen until that ball is in the air. Here's the contact. Kind of throws them down. Ball's in the air, we need to have defensive pass interference. You know, but it is tough because I think you have an underthrown ball, receiver trying to come back, but it looks like as he stops to try to come back, the defender does contact him and try to prohibit him from coming back. So we call holding. Should call DPI. This play is going to be an example of something that looks bad, but it may not actually be bad. A little bit better positioning could have helped us out. You know, it looks like, hey, you might have OPI here. Look, you got a receiver making some contact. But we don't know what the receiver's doing with his right arm. He could be an arm barring. He could be, he could be doing an arm bar right there. It's hard for us to tell. That's why we want a little bit better cushioning here, a little bit deeper down. And then we can see that. But like I said, you know, just because you have contact right here from this receiver does not necessarily mean we're going to have a foul. Because again, you know, with the white player here, if he has an arm in his chest to prevent him from running, you know, then we may have something else. So a little bit better cushioning, but still a pretty good job there. Last play we're going to look at. This one again is going to be a good job by the crew of descaling the situation. You know, as you've seen a couple of times already, the crew's come in, done a good job of descaling some stuff, using their words. But this time it warrants flags, and we get the flags. Okay, this is a great job. When, you know, we don't want to use our flags if we don't have to, but if we have to, we got to. See, this player's going to come in, 64, and just shove them. Or 65, that is, shove them. That warrants a flag. You know, a little bit of taunting right there. Probably popped him right there because he's, you know, he knows what he's doing. The 65 is going to come in and just protect this player. So, again, good job here, the crew. You know, this is a good example of you've done what you could. Now you got to use your flags. So good job there. Good job there with the crew of using the flags when they need to. Like I said, we've seen some previous plays where they didn't have to use the flags. They used their voice to kind of keep the peace, and that was good. Now we have a situation dictate that they have to use flags, and they do it, and they do a good job. All right, that's it for week 5. Good luck, guys. You guys in South Georgia, especially on the coast, I hope you all stayed safe, stay dry, and try to get back into normal football mode. So again, guys in South Georgia, hope you weathered the storm okay, and everything's good for you guys. All right, good luck this week, guys, and stay safe.